Hi, today I'm going to show you some stretches to help your running. For the most part, if you're anything like me, or the way I used to be before I started yoga, you skip your stretching and that leads to injury. So today I'm going to show you some basic poses that are going to help stretch out those problem areas that can lead to injury and cause us to be really tight and so on and so forth. So today we're going to start with a child's pose. You're going to start with your knees being directly underneath those hips. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. On your exhale, you're going to go ahead and sink those hips back, placing those hands out in front of you, stretching them forward with every exhale, just kind of moving them forward. Your forehead is placed on the mat. Another variation of this is you can go ahead and bring those arms around behind you, pressing those hands up towards the ceiling. We tend to hold a lot of tension back here in our shoulder blades from moving our arms like this. So taking those hands behind your back and stretching them up like that, that's going to help to kind of loosen those muscles up. You're going to hold each one of these moves probably for about 5 breaths. That's a good gauge. You're going to inhale for 4. Exhale for 4. Our next one is going to be, so you're in your child's pose. You're going to go ahead and shift forward. Hands are underneath those shoulder blades. You're going to walk those knees out, and here's your modified plank. So you're just going to hold here, lowering that bottom down towards the mat, opening up that chest, and breathing. Now from here, you're going to go ahead and exhale and lower yourself down. You're going to keep those elbows in close to your body, lowering that chest down. Now from here, you're going to go ahead and lay those arms flat down on your mat, and you're going to, on your inhale, you're going to go ahead and bring that chest up. Chin is staying parallel with the floor. You're breathing, and here's Cobra. Now from Cobra, we're going to go ahead and take your hands and exhale, pressing it back to child's pose again. So you're going to go ahead and bring those knees in and stretch yourself out again. The next one is going to be inclined plank. So you're going to go ahead and fold those legs over. You're going to go ahead and sit back, bringing those feet forward. You're going to lay those feet flat on the mat. Your hands are going to go on the floor, pointing towards your bottom, and you're going to go ahead and come up, bringing those feet out, pressing those hips up towards the ceiling. Now I'm feeling a really good stretch right here, in here. You're going to feel that stretch in your hips as you're pressing it up. So right in here, you're going to get a good stretch. So that's your inclined plank. Your next one, you're going to go ahead and fold those legs over, shift your weight forward. You're going to come here. You're going to lower yourself, go back into that croc position, lower yourself down. You're going to go ahead and bring your feet up. So you're going to take one arm and then the next. If this is a good enough stretch, you can just kind of stay here, or you're going to go ahead and use those feet, and you're going to go ahead and bring that chest up off the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and inhale, filling those lungs up with air and pressing it back. That's going to give you a nice stretch right in here. Your back, your arms, that's going to stretch everything. Now from bow pose, you're going to press yourself up, bring yourself forward, bring your thigh forward. We're going to go into a kneeling lunge. So the very most important part about lunging, knee belongs directly over that ankle. So your hands are going to be on that floor. You're going to find a nice place where you can bring that knee back to where you can come up. So we're pressing that hip down into the mat. So when you find your stability, you're going to go ahead and walk one hand up at a time, bringing that chest up high and pressing that hip down towards the mat. Now from here, like I said before, you're going to hold each pose for about 5 seconds, or not 5 seconds, 5 breaths, really pressing that hip down into the mat. And you're going to go and do both sides, or you can go through the sequence on one side and then go through the sequence again on the other side. So your next one is going to be a quad stretch. So you're going to put those knees, you're going to come up into a standing position. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this. If you're not very flexible, you can bring those toes up on your mat, and you can go ahead and take one hand and then the other, pressing back. Now I want you to obviously think about your back and make sure that you're not coming back too far. But I want you to think, whenever you're stretching anything, I want you to think about the muscle that you're stretching. And when we're doing this camel pose or quad stretch, you're concentrating on these quadriceps right here. So you're coming up, and then you're reaching back, and you're pressing these hips towards the front of the room. Now, if you're a little bit more flexible, you can go ahead and take those feet down flat and come back further, pressing again those hips up towards the ceiling or towards the wall or whatever, and you're really just kind of arching, okay? Again, holding for about 5 seconds, or 5 breaths, excuse me. So then the next one, I'm going to show you, we've been doing this one since we were all in middle school, elementary school, is the butterfly stretch. So you're going to go ahead and bring those feet in, tuck them in as close as you can. If they're way out here for right now and your legs are up here, that is perfectly fine. Everybody is starting somewhere. So we're going to bring those heels in. Hands are going to go on your toes. You're going to take a nice deep inhale, drawing those knees up towards you. Tucking, I like to tuck. This isn't a part of the butterfly pose, but I just like to do it. I like to tuck that chin down into my chest, which is also giving me a nice spine stretch. So you inhale, bring those knees up, tuck that chin, and on your exhale, you're lowering those legs down. Really pressing, not to the point where they hurt. No stretch should ever hurt. So you're just lowering those knees down to where you're feeling that nice stretch in the inside of your thigh. Your next one is going to be an upside down pigeon. So we're going to go ahead, you're going to take those fingers, point them towards your bottom, bend those knees. You're going to go ahead and take one foot, place it on the inside of your thigh. Sometimes people find regular pigeon a little bit hard to get into if you are really tight. So this is a way that even sometimes here, you could walk your feet out or your hands out, and just having your leg up here can be a really nice stretch if you're really super tight. As you start to loosen up, you can walk that foot in closer to your body, walk those fingertips in closer, and press that chest in towards your legs. This is going to give you a nice stretch all the way from our piriformis all the way down to our knee, getting that IT band. If you're a runner, you know what those two words are. Piriformis and IT band are one of the two most common injuries that runners face, and they can be solved very easily just by making sure that you increase your stretching. Our last one is a seated forward fold. So what you're going to do is you're just going to sit on your bottom. Really make sure that you're on your bottom. You are on those sits bones. And when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. Really stretch those arms up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, you're just going to fold forward, taking those hands towards your feet. Now, you know what? You might be a little bit tight right now. So, just coming here might be, where you can get right now. But with every exhale, really think about just kind of on your exhale, just pressing a little bit further and a little bit further until you can maybe eventually get down to where you can grab those toes. The most important part is to keep your nose facing towards your knees. So even if you're here, your foot facing that nose towards your knees, you're pulling those toes towards your body. So you're coming down like this, pulling those toes towards your knees and tucking that nose down. So again, like if you're here, that's completely fine. Just wherever you feel that stretch. So I hope that these, my hair's all messy, these stretches help you out. You can go through them. I don't know, I would spend some days you might have 5 minutes, go through it once. Other days you might have a little bit longer, maybe go through it 2 or 3 times and see how you feel. I promise you that if you start adding this routine to your schedule a couple of days a week, if not after every run that you do, that you will start to feel a lot looser. You will sleep better. I know I have. I've only been doing yoga for about a year now, maybe 6 months, I guess. And I have gained so much flexibility and I feel so much better while I'm running because everything isn't tight. My knees aren't hurting like they used to. There's just so many benefits. Mentally, there's so many benefits that come with doing yoga, especially for those racers out there and those endurance athletes. You all know how hard those mental walls are. And so learning how to really channel your breath and your breathing, and yoga isn't just about stretching out those muscles. That is very important, probably the most important part. But if you really concentrate on your breathing, and I'm not talking about chanting or meditating or anything crazy, I'm just talking about quieting your brain, learning to get in tune with your breath, because breathing is probably one of the most important parts of running. At least it is for me. I'm speaking for myself, I guess. If my breathing gets out of control, my run is over. Like I will lose it. But once I can think that I'm on during a marathon, I can think that I'm ready to quit. And if I get my breathing back under control, it's like I'm a whole new runner again. So if you just center that breathing, exhale into those stretches, those muscles will start to lengthen out. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a little bit more flexible, and tune back next week because I will be doing yoga for cyclists. So thank you and have a great day.